Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer. You know, a lot of people accuse me of making false dichotomies, but we have to embrace false dichotomies because the only alternative is cannibalism. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Nexum Galaxy from Eclipse, Editorial, and Draco Ideas. Hello everybody, we'll get back to the review in just a second. I just want to take a moment to ask you to go ahead and check out and subscribe to my other channel, that is Cody Carlson PhD, where we talk about military history and books on history and fun things like that. Please check that out, please subscribe, and now, back to the review. In Nexum Galaxy, from Eclipse Editorial and Draco Ideas, 1 to 4 players take on the roles of various factions in outer space as they vie to gain the most victory points and dominate the universe. Now, depending on the scenario, you're going to go ahead and set up a number of systems. These have stars and 3 planets around them. Each player is going to go ahead and get their own unique ships. There are tokens in the base game, but you can also upgrade to a miniatures pack. And you're going to go ahead and collect those. And each player is also going to get 4 action cards. These action cards are movement phase, management phase, then management phase, and management phase, then movement phase. Now, scattered throughout the board, you're also going to place a number of relics. These relics are military, replicator, extractor, and transportation, and they're going to have some kooky and fun things that happen with them. Now, one player is going to have the initiative card. So beginning with that player, they're going to go ahead and take their turn first. They're going to select one of their 4 action cards or phase cards in order to do either management, movement, or kind of the combinations of the two, the different combinations of the two. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to select your card. Now, during the management phase, certain things will happen. First of all, you're going to gain a number of energy depending on how many planets you have and stars. I think the stars give you 2 energy, and the planets give you 1 energy. Now, there is a 20 energy per turn limit. You can never get more than 20 energy per turn. Now, as you're collecting energy, if you have the replicator relic on one of your ships, you can actually gain an additional energy from the planet you control that has that ship on it. Next, you have kind of your ship production phase. You can go ahead and you can build 1 ship per planet. I think up to 3 ships per turn you can build. And then you can never have more than 5 ships on 1 planet, so you need to observe that rule as well. Now, the first ship you build costs 2 energy, and then each additional ship you build will cost 2 plus 1. So, you know, your first one's 2, second one's 3, next one's 4, etc., etc. Now, if you have the replicator relic associated with one of your ships, you can actually build a ship for just 1 energy on that specific planet. Now, during the movement phase, kind of the destination of your ship is going to be what the cost in energy is. For instance, if you move a ship somewhere else in that system, it only costs you 1 energy. If you move it to an adjacent system, it costs you 2 energy per ship to move into those systems. And then if you move into any other system on the board, however far away it is, it costs you 3 per ship to move there. Now, each ship can only move once during the movement phase, and if you have the transporter relic attached to one of your ships, then the entire fleet's cost is reduced by 1 for that movement. Now, if you decide to move onto another planet where there are enemy ships, you are going to have combat. Now, combat is essentially deterministic. You're going to add up the military power of all your ships, 1 per ship. They're going to add up the defensive value of all of the ships on that planet, but they also get bonuses. The bonus power from ships on the star itself is going to add to the defensive value. Now, whoever has the replicator, the military relic, they can go ahead and add +1 to attack or defense during the combat. You're going to go ahead, whoever has the most wins, they're going to lose ships equal to the defense value halved, rounded down, I believe. And then the loser, of course, is going to lose all of their ships. Now, combat's really the way you score victory points. You score a victory point for every battle you win, but you also score a point if you can kind of steal the system from somebody else, or at least rob them of the majority. In order to have majority control of a system, you have to control 2 of the 3 planets. If somebody is able to break your majority, then they gain a point. Now, if you are successful in taking over a planet, you also can plunder and gain some extra energy depending on the size of that planet as well. So players are going around and around. They are moving, they are attacking, they are plundering, they are getting energy from the resources, they're building new ships, and critically they're hoping to score the most victory points. Whoever can score 7 victory points first wins Nexum Galaxy. So Nexum Galaxy is a pretty tight little game. It's very, obviously the combat is very deterministic, which generally I'm not a fan of. But the game's so quick, relatively speaking, that it's not a big issue for me, or at least it can be quick. I can see where the game could go longer. Games I've played have been pretty quick. So that's not a major issue for me. But really, it's simple, right? There's those basic ideas: move, fight, collect energy, try to get those relics to give you advantages. So it's a pretty basic game. Now, there are some advanced rules, and there's some other modes of play. There's an expansion. So there's some different things you can add into it to mix it up. But that's basically how you play the game. And it's pretty fun. It's a relatively quick game. It's pretty simple. I will say, however, the theme doesn't really come through. It feels like an abstract game. It feels very abstract. Yeah, you've got planets, you've got spaceships, but it just seems like it's more like area control, majority control with some combat. The theme really didn't come in. I almost think it would have been kind of fun if you had some cards, a deck of cards that maybe gave you some surprises, that they kind of injected the theme a little bit more into it, but maybe helped you with combat or helped you gain energy or play dirty tricks on other players. I think that would make me have liked it even more. But for what this game is, for as light as it is, for as relatively quick as it is, I had a lot of fun with it. Recommendation for the discriminating gamer for Nexum Galaxies is buy it. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. I also ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to please check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we take a look at military history and books on history and fun things like that. Please check it out. Please subscribe. Please give a thumb to this video on Board Game Geek. That helps us out a lot as well. You know, I'm reminded of what one stormtrooper said to the other one. Do you ever close your eyes when you're shooting? You don't know what you're missing.
Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
Wait, how are you doing all of that on a movement card?
I'm not. I'm playing
management.
Oh, you did management? Okay.
We explained to Sally.